Hello, it's currently 9 p.m. almost on a school night. I truly feel like this is like a new era of my life. That's part of the reason I love like that I started recording these, because honestly like the only main reason I started uploading any of these videos on YouTube is just like a way to document myself, which sounds kind of like not self-centered, but I don't know. I did it just for myself mainly, just because I already kind of like looking back and look like 6 months ago and just see how much my life's changed and just appreciate that. I mean, of course, I could have just done that privately, but that would have taken up a lot more space on my phone if I left it on my own cloud storage. And also, it's a way to practice music too. I started uploading myself playing some music, but mainly just to document myself. And it's crazy looking back how much, like, since just like January this year, I was living at a different house with a different family, different school, different friends. I have new friends, new school, new family I'm living with, new home, everything. Maybe even a new job. I'll talk about that in a second. Even my like progression in music too. Like, I'm definitely not amazing. I'm definitely not super confident yet, but even just like looking back, like I feel like this is like one of the first times I've been able to like visibly notice that I've definitely improved somewhat, which I mean that makes sense, if you practice several hours every day, I would hope you would improve. I mean, I'd probably be pretty discouraged if I didn't notice any improvement at all, but I know, people are their own self-critics, so it usually takes people longer to notice their own improvement, so that's one thing I'm happy about. But I don't know, I mean, part of me loves, I got the change I wanted, I guess, I think it's kind of funny how a couple months ago I was like, I want change, even though I know my life's going good right now, and change happened without me, a change that I didn't want at first, that wasn't my idea, but then now here I am living with new family, new school, all that jazz, and I mean, no shit on the other family, but I do like my life a lot more now. It's funny, I was saying how my like, I think I'm like the last one of these, I was saying how my plate is like filling up because I've signed up for so many classes and like activities and stuff because I want to make the most of college, and I think since then I've added even more stuff. I'm gonna be doing, I don't know if I knew this last time I recorded a video, but I'm almost definitely gonna be doing like working with a news channel, like an actual established news channel, to like record high school sports games, which is really cool. Like, we're gonna use actual equipment and it's paid, which I mean, like, you might expect it to be paid, but I know like a lot of people like they're, because it's like an actual like working for a professional news channel. And even our professor, she was like, yeah, my first time working was like not paid at all, like the unpaid intern stereotype. It's like, well, look at us, college students getting paid to do something related to our major, working with cameras, working with audio. I don't know, I'm excited. I think it's gonna be cool. And when I signed up for school, like I was like, I wouldn't have even thought that'd be something I wanted to do or that I would be able to do. But I don't know, I feel like I've already changed so much since like a couple weeks ago. This is like my third week of school, the beginning of my third week of school, so that's crazy. I signed up for that, which I'm almost definitely doing, but because I'm a minor and because I'm in foster care, the agency was like, you're going off campus in a van full of college kids. I mean, to be fair, like, professors are leading it, but I mean, I don't know, I'm a minor, they want more details. I don't know why I said deets, but I'm hoping I can do it because, it's more money for me. What else did I sign up for? I'm still doing the band practices once a week. We're learning 2 new songs this week, and I've never heard either of them before, so I'm gonna have to listen to them a lot, but I like new music. Oh, I signed up for the newspaper, which is a whole nother thing. I might be getting a job, I said, like, besides the recording, because that's only like for the semester, I think, on Fridays. But I applied for a job. Basically, I have a classmate who has a job, and they said it's like an art store, and they said they're hiring, and I feel like I might actually scream out of anger because this whole time, oh my god, I don't have my social security card because I don't know, it was lost. I just don't have it. And foster care agency, because I'm in foster care, it takes forever to get it, because usually you could have like a parent ask, I don't know, the government, whoever you ask for it, and it would be relatively quick. But because I'm in foster care, all the procedures, they have to ask the court, they have to get these documents, blah blah blah. So it's been almost an entire year since I asked, and they still haven't got it. And every single place I've applied, and I did apply to a lot of places, like at least over 20 places, and like places like McDonald's, like chains, like you would think, and not even just chains, like some local places too. Every single one of them said they couldn't hire me unless I had my social security card. Even though I have my social security number, they said they need the actual card, they have to see it or get a copy or whatever. So I've been out of work since October last year, and now my classmate referred me to their job, and because they told me like, oh, we're hiring seasonal workers. I don't even know how it came up because we're just talking about jobs. And then I asked them, did they need the social security card? And they said no. And I'm like, what? Oh, if only I applied to that place earlier. And I even like, I knew of this art store too. Like I think I almost applied there, but I was getting like kind of depressed. Like, well, nowhere's accepting me, so I don't think this random store will. But like this whole time I could have applied there and had a job. But I mean, at least I'm like basically guaranteed to get this job. I think because it's like a little art store. They're apparently really desperate need of people for like the season. You know, seasons are coming, not seasons, holidays are coming up. And my classmate, do you use the word classmate in college? My fellow student, I mean, yeah, class, we're in the same class, I don't know. I feel like it would be a different word, but it's not. My classmate, fellow student, referred me to both of their managers, so I feel like I'm kind of, I don't know, I mean, I think I kind of have a heads up to any other people applying. I got 2 referrals to both managers. But so that's another thing to my plate. And then what else? Oh, I signed up, I mean, this isn't like a big thing, but there was like a photographer on campus, and I said they're doing a commercial. I don't know, I was feeling nice, and I was like, if you are doing a commercial, you can let me know and I'll go to it. And that's, I'm not really counting that because that's probably just like a 1 or 2 time deal, so not counting that. The band practice, also just like my normal classes on top of this, you know, homework. My first like tests are starting to come up now that it's been the first couple weeks. I signed up for like a work study thing, which I mean, if I get hired at the art store, I probably won't do. But I mean, the title work study sounds intriguing because like if it's a work study related to music or recording or something, that might be, you know, more useful learning knowledge than working at the art store. Although I feel maybe I shouldn't have already applied because I feel really shitty now to my classmate and both those managers. If like last minute I was like, oh, I'm actually not gonna do that even though I just applied. But I mean, I could even, if the work study thing is actually really interesting, then I could just say I'm like a seasonal worker. And like I was just doing, because I know like they do that all the time. Like on the website it said like, are you gonna be a seasonal just for the holidays worker? So I think I could, if the work study sounds really interesting and I'm too overbooked, because now I'm really booked, then I think I could just do a seasonal thing at the art store. And then what else? Oh, and my I joined like another club, which is not even like a club, it's like a label. It's like the school has a, I don't know, this is really fascinating to me. Not, I think it's interesting. The school, we do like a label that I joined, and basically we scout like local talent, like a local band or rapper or like any sort of musician. We sign them to us, and then we help them like produce like an EP. Like we record it, we have a recording studio, it has to be all original music, and then we mix it all together. Like I'm actually really excited for that. It's not even like a class, it's like a extra club or something. I don't know what the label is, but that's really fascinating to me because obviously I love music. I want to do my own music, so I think that'll be an awesome experience. That's like one of my most excited for things I'm doing. Oh, and then being in foster care, another little fun fact, at least with my foster care agency, I have to see 3 different providers every single week. I have to see a therapist every week, which I know there's tons of people out there who would love a therapist and don't have one because they're hella expensive, which is crazy. I get one for free being in foster care, and I don't like therapy, so it's like wasted on me. And I mean, I know I have, I don't know, I feel like this is kind of my, I mean, it shouldn't be my therapy, but I like just thinking things over with myself, and I prefer talking with friends. I've said this before, I don't know, I don't like being analyzed by random people. I can't even say that because I upload videos on the internet, so like I'm subjecting myself to being analyzed by random people, but I don't like someone being paid, like a therapist being paid to analyze me. I don't know. I think it works for other people, that's awesome. Do whatever helps you. Me personally, it doesn't help me. It doesn't do anything for me to go to therapy. If I want to process my emotions, I talk with friends or I just talk to myself or write it down. I don't know. I see, because I have coping strategies, so it's not like I'm in a crisis right now. But I mean, I don't know, maybe down the line I'll be like, oh yeah, therapy really helped me, or blah blah. But it's not even, I don't even do therapy with my therapist though, because we don't really have much to talk about. I mean, again, not saying my life's all peaches. I have plenty of shit that, you know, could be processed, but it just doesn't do anything for me. So I usually just end up sitting there for an hour. It's like an hour of my week. But yeah, oh, being in foster care with my agency, I have to see a therapist once a week, which is an hour of my week. I have to see a skills trainer, which I don't know. I mean, it's not like a bad idea, but it's kind of funny because they have the same skills trainers for like the 4-year-olds in foster care and like the 20-year-olds in foster care. So it's obviously, you know, you don't need to be learning the same skills. Like again, it's a good resource. Like it has definitely been useful sometimes, like studying for my permit test. You know, we've done that as a skills lesson. Just like going over my bank account, you know, making sure that's all good. It's definitely like useful, but it's just like sometimes since I have to see them once a week, we'll meet and like it'll just be like yeah, I don't know what to do. We don't really have anything to talk about, so just like an hour of both of our time. I'm sure the skills trainer doesn't mind because she's getting paid, but if we're not doing anything useful, it just feels kind of silly because then it's not only just the hour boss, so you know, arranging it. Is she gonna drive to me? Do I have to go to the office? Blah blah blah. So that one's hit or miss. And then I see a social worker once a week, which I mean that's not bad because honestly, she just that's pretty chill. It's not usually an hour long. Um, that one I don't really complain about, but it is like 3 different appointments every single week that can definitely get confusing and difficult, especially now that I'm in college, because now it's like they're trying to schedule with me and they don't work on weekends. So it definitely can be annoying because again, it's just like something I have to work with my schedule. It can't be pushed aside because it's I don't know, I'm in foster care, so it's mandatory. Anyone of any age in foster care with this agency has to see those 3 people. So it's just like another thing on the plate. Although I guess one thing that and I'm doing a voice lessons class, and then I have voice lessons that are like free with this out of school group that I'm still doing, which I've talked about before. Yeah, but I guess one thing I can remove from my schedule is I think I might have lost my plug, unfortunately. I think my plug got a girlfriend, and I think it's like an unofficial plug, but I think he politely like posted a picture of him and a girl. I think that was like him slyly telling me like, yeah, I'm not gonna meet. Not that I like ever like he's just my friend. Like never anything more than that. I never wanted anything more than that. But I can understand if his girlfriend was like, yeah, I don't want you meeting with this girl once a week. So I might have lost ties with my plug, but I think I might have accidentally manifested it because when I started college, I was like, this is not good for me to partake in anything during college. I don't need to waste any more time or brain cells, but I didn't mean for it to actually happen. I didn't mean to actually lose the plug, but oh well, maybe it's a blessing in disguise. I've learned this year that a lot of things that I initially thought were shitty actually turned out to be good for me. So maybe this is one of them, but also maybe something will happen between the 2 of them, and then I'll get my plug back. We'll see. But it's actually that kind of ties in because I kind of like I don't know. I'm not feeling as much FOMO as I thought I was. I'm an incredibly FOMO-y person. I think I'm getting better at it. But I think school and just having a life is helping a lot with that. I think if I wasn't in college right now, I don't know what I would be doing if I was just either not in school right now or back in high school if I didn't graduate early. I think my FOMO would be so much worse because even when I was in high school, just being in foster care and all the strict rules, I never was able to hang out with friends outside of school. Maybe like twice that happened. And I see my friends post pictures like going out to pubs and stuff, parties, just hanging out all together. And I feel like a little jealous. I'm like a little like missing out. But I think now that I'm in college, I have just a whole new set of friends who like I sound like such a snob saying like who are more like mature or whatever. I mean, yeah, like they're all older than these like high schoolers because I'm supposed to be a high schooler because of my age, but I'm not trying to sound like a snob. I'm just saying, these people who are more experienced. I like surrounding myself with people who I can learn from. Not that, you can definitely learn from people your age. You can definitely learn from people younger than you. But these are people who just have more life experience, more passion. Like they're going to school for this specific thing that I'm also interested in. Just more people with that I feel like I can learn from and I don't know, have like cool conversations with that aren't just like stereotypical high school conversations. Not that I don't miss that though. I do really miss having like IRL. I don't know why I said IRL. I don't know, in person friends. Not I don't have like online friends. I have friends who are like long distance that I talk to online that I can be like silly with, but I feel like I miss having friends like in person that I could just be like silly with. Because I mean I think I feel like I act mature. Not that I'm like acting mature, but like I'm in college. I'm not like I try to be taken seriously. I want to be taken seriously. I think most adolescents do. But I think like any person, I'm still goofy. I don't like the word goofy, but like I still sometimes if like no one's home, I'll like this is kind of embarrassing, but I usually like I live in the basement of like this house. It's not like terrible. Like the basement's not finished. It's kind of like a little sketchy and it's like a normal storage. I don't know. I've never really lived in a house with a basement. This is kind of fancy for me, but it's not a fancy basement. It's like a storage basement. But like my room is finished and like the floor outside my room is finished, so it's not like a concrete floor in my room. But to get to the bathroom, it's like a concrete floor. So usually if no one's here, I'll like run because I don't know. I'm still a kid, I'm still goofy. I like run to the bathroom and back, or just jump. I don't know. I just like when I'm home alone. But then today I was like running from the bathroom to my room, and then there was someone downstairs, and I like ran into them, and I was like, oh, sorry, oops. But, I don't know, I'm still a child. I still do childish things, but I miss having friends who are childish, and I'm sure a lot of my friends are the same. I think a lot of people have childish things they still do that they don't really do with others, but I feel like, now I'm with a bunch of adults. Today I was in one of my classes, and like, this is my first time. I've never lied about my age and like said I'm older than 16 in college, but I don't advertise my age just because like I don't want to be looked at as a little kid. I mean, I am younger than a lot of these people, but I don't say my age unless it's asked. But today I was in one of my classes, and we were like going around saying our ages, and like everyone was like, oh, "You're 16. Oh my god! Like my nephew's older than you," or something like that. It's like, I don't know. I mean, part of me likes it. It kind of boosts my ego a little bit because I'm like, oh, like they think it's impressive I'm here. I don't know. It does feel a little good, but I do feel like I'm around a bunch of adults, and I miss having goofy friends. That is a good thing about high school, is it's a lot. I mean, there's a lot more drama. It's like a lot more. I don't know. It's like give and take. Like there's plenty of things in high school that were like so serious for no reason, like drama and stuff. That in college is just goofy. It just depends who you surround yourself with. But I think that is kind of like a reason that I fell into, not deeply, but I had like, my little drug and alcohol moments, because I think that was kind of like a way, I miss being childish, and it's like, well, if I'm high, if I'm drunk, then I have an excuse to be childish, and it's not, I mean, it still is, I definitely would still embarrass myself, but it's not as, it's like an excuse to be silly, it's an excuse to be childish. So I think that, I'm sure that's the same for a lot of people. I'm sure a lot of people feel the exact same way about that. But I saw the newspaper. I just joined the newspaper today. I don't know if it's like the school paper. And okay, I said I added that to my plate. It's not like a huge thing I added though, because it's very relaxed. The guy is very chill. He's like, just send me whatever. And he was kind of making fun of me because I wasn't even asking like crazy questions, but I was like, oh, so like, how many words do you want it to usually be? What topics do you guys talk about? Like, do you have any ideas you want me to? Because he just said send me articles. So I was just like, I don't know, like I want like, I mean, I'm not like a totally uncreative person, but I want like a little idea of what you want me to write about, especially because it's like the first paper of the. I'm not like the only. I'm sure there's other people submitting stories, but I think it's just they've put together articles from different students. But I'm like, I want like a little bit of a baseline, and he was like, "You're so serious," and it's like, I don't know. I try not to be like overly serious. I try, I was just saying how I like being childish, I like being goofy, but I also just, I don't know. I was just asking like the questions, but he was like, I can tell you're one of those smart people. I can tell you're like an overachiever. And I was like, maybe I am a little, but I didn't say this, but like I feel like I definitely, yeah. I graduated high school early. I signed up for a lot of classes. I was just talking about how many things I signed up for, but I don't do it to be an overachiever. I just want to better myself the best I can, which not like in a self-centered way, but there's these opportunities. I can have an opportunity to help a artist produce an album. I can join this club, I can take this class. It's all stuff that I'm not doing it because I want like to tell people like, oh, I have all these credits, oh, I graduated early. It's just because I want to better myself. I graduated early so I could take these cool classes that I'm looking forward to. So I do it for myself. Not in a selfish. I mean, I guess it is selfish. Yeah, it is selfish, but not in a taking advantage of others kind of way. But I'm not an overachiever just to be an overachiever. I just want to. I'm scared of time. I'm terrified of time. I want to make the most of all the time that I have. Not that I make the most of every second I have, but I try my best to, most of the time. But yeah, I feel like it was like it was kind of funny. It was like, I don't know, I can tell you're an overachiever type. You're so serious. It's like, I don't know, I just want to know the standard. But I guess I probably will send him some things. I don't know what I'll write yet. It was saying do like an album review, but that was like, even that wasn't specific enough for me. I'm like, I didn't ask, but I was like, what kind of, like, any album? Like local talent album review? Like on the radio album review? Super niche? Like recently released? Throwback? I don't know. I want like a little more direction, but that's another cool thing. Another experience again. It's all for the experience. And I'm so happy to have like little stories in my life again. Because like this whole summer, like I got some stuff done. I improved in music. It wasn't completely useless, but my days would look pretty similar every single day. Every time I went to the store, that would be like the big thing of the week. I'd be like, oh yeah, this was the week where I went to the store and got groceries. Like that would be my most exciting part of the day, my most exciting part of the week, which, I mean, I wasn't complaining. It was, I had a lot of time to work on my music and work on projects that I don't have as much time to do now because I'm taking advantage of all these opportunities. But I'm so glad to have like just like little stories, you know, like multiple things can happen in a day, and that'll just be like a normal day now, when, you know, a couple weeks ago one of those things could happen that would be like what the whole day was about, if that makes sense. Like now I have like little stories, like yesterday the fire alarm went off and I was like in the vocal practice room, and I couldn't hear the fire alarm, so someone had to like come and knock on the door. And it was just like kind of funny because it's like, what if there was like an actual fire? And I was just like in that room. And I have like a visit with my brother coming up, which is cool. It's kind of silly because I'm in foster care, basically. Like, they make it so strict with like visiting. Like, my brother, I mean, I've never really got into like my whole why I'm in foster care situation. I don't know, some stuff I just don't put on the internet. But like, my brother, he's chill. He's, you know, nothing bad's ever happened with my brother. He's an adult, you know, living his own life. But because I'm in foster care, it's like if you see anyone from your biological family, or just even from like your past, which is so weird. Like, there's people I want to see, not like a lot, specifically like one person who I used to live with, who, again, like nothing bad's ever happened with this person, but because they're from my past, like the foster care agency doesn't want me to see them, or like we have to be super strict and supervised, which I just think is kind of silly. I don't know. But if I want to see my brother, it has to be like, it can only be this many hours, you know. The first visits had to be supervised. I mean, I get it in some ways, but again, like nothing bad has ever happened between me and my brother. We've always, even as like younger children, I guess we have a big enough age gap where like we never even argued it when we were little. Like we weren't even like normal siblings. Like we never got into fights or anything, which I mean is good, but you know, even like siblings I know who are super close now, even like when they were younger, they would fight. But I have a visit with my brother coming up. Just like little things can happen. There was like food trucks today that came to the college. I got like grilled peanut butter and jelly. Yesterday I didn't bring like a lunch with me, so I was like scavenging around the school. Got like a granola bar from one room, found like an apple in another room. Just like funny stuff. I don't know. I like have coffee with my friends, you know, just like walk around the school. It's just fun. It's just, my life's, like I said in the beginning, like my life's just a new era, and this is better than high school. Off topic, but I actually played like a video game the other day, which, I mean, it's not like a huge thing. I feel like I've said like in a couple of these that like I kind of banned myself from playing video games. Not like officially, but I just got to that point where I was like, if I play video games, I feel like I'm wasting time. Like I tried to play The Sims the other day. I've probably only played The Sims like less than 10 times ever. But you know, I've had a couple times when I would, you know, play it and get kind of into it. I tried to play The Sims the other day and I like loaded it up on my computer. I was like, okay, I have no more homework tonight. I can just chill and play The Sims. Like, I deserve to relax or whatever. And like got like I was like loading up the game, and like the menu came up and I was like, this is such a waste of time. Like I'm not like hating on anyone who plays The Sims at all. I like The Sims. I also probably play it in the future, but I just loaded it up on my computer and I was like, this is such a waste of time. Like I'm not accomplishing anything. I like physically couldn't make myself play the game. But I actually did play a video game the other day. Oh, what was it called? It was like Night in the Woods. I'm a sucker for story games. And I rationalized, I was able to play it because I rationalized that I've never played it before. So it's like a new experience. I'm still learning somehow. I don't know, it's just how my stupid little brain works. I have to be productive, which again, like, that sounds like I'm trying to be like, oh, I'm so cool, I have to always be learning. But no, I kind of hate it sometimes because I'm just trying to enjoy myself and I like feel like I'm wasting my time. But I did play that game a little bit. I was like tripping while playing it, so I don't remember the first half of it. But it wasn't terrible. I do like story games. I've heard about it a lot, so I had like high expectations. Although I kind of hated how when I was playing it, I was like aware that I would have loved the game like 10 times more 3 years ago when I was like 13. And like it was still, you know, I didn't finish it. I only got like an hour in maybe. But I was just kind of like hyper aware that like this game would have been, I would have liked it a lot more and like the protagonist a lot more like 3 years ago, or just like a couple years ago. Just I feel like now I'm too serious. I just cringed too much. I don't know. And I was like the protagonist. I was like, you're supposed to like kind of find, I don't know, relatable. I mean, I didn't hate the protagonist, but I just kind of saw him as like spoiled and immature. And then like the antagonist, who, I mean, they're not like the villain, but the opposing character was like the one I kind of related to more and sympathized for more, even though it's like supposed to be the opposite, I guess. But I mean, it's kind of funny. It is actually, the game is about, I'm not like advertising the games. It's not terrible, but I'm not advertising. It's called Night in the Woods. But the main character is actually a college dropout, which maybe that's part why some of my resentment is coming through for this character. Because it's like, you were in college and you dropped out. Like, you're wasting all that money. You're wasting these opportunities. Like, I just couldn't relate to that character because, I mean, I was just talking about how much I'm liking college so far, which again, I can realize how college can be stressful and stuff, but I can't imagine like putting all that money into college and just dropping out. I mean, I just started the story. I'm assuming they're gonna get into the story later why the main character dropped out of college. They still didn't say that yet. I'm sure this character is gonna have an arc and be less spoiled by the end of the story. I just didn't make it that far. But Although I did relate, there was a scene where the main character got like super drunk and stupid. I did relate to the character on that part. I'm in complete embarrassment when I get to that level. But besides that, I just couldn't really sympathize with the main character too much. Maybe I'll keep playing it. Although, like I said, my plate is very full. If I couldn't make myself play video games during the summer when I had nothing going on besides, you know, setting my own goals and priorities because I couldn't find work, I couldn't get my permit and practice driving, you know, it was all very self-directed time. If I couldn't play video games then I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it when I actually have all these things now. But okay, I think I'm gonna stop talking now. Let's see, I did my math homework already, did my history homework. I have audio production homework just to take notes, but usually the professor uploads the notes on like our classroom website. So I kind of want to wait for her to upload them because it would probably just be easier for me to copy those and read the book and like try to summarize everything. And then I have to write some articles for the newspaper. I'll probably do that right now. Yeah. All right, good night, good morning, whatever time it is.